There's something quietly fascinating about charisma, that almost mysterious ability some people have to draw others in, to make a room feel warmer just by walking into it, or to leave us still thinking about them long after they're gone. Most of us assume it's an inborn gift reserved for the few, the naturally charming, the extroverted, the effortlessly confident. But reading The Charisma Myth by Olivia Fox Cabane feels like being gently but firmly disabused of that comforting excuse. Charisma, she argues, isn't magic. It's a skill, something that can be learned, practiced, and over time woven into the fabric of who we are. What makes this book feel different from a typical self-help guide is its warm, conversational tone. Cabane doesn't write like someone selling a trick or a formula. She writes like a perceptive friend who's watched people carefully, noticing what makes some speakers magnetic while others fade into the background, what makes certain leaders inspiring rather than intimidating, and what small shifts can change not just how others see us, but how we see ourselves. One of the book's most striking ideas is that charisma isn't a single quality. It's actually a delicate blend of three components: presence, power, and warmth. Presence is the ability to truly be there with someone, to listen without distraction, to let your mind stop racing ahead to what you'll say next. Power is about the subtle signals we send that we're capable and confident, whether through body language, tone of voice, or even the quiet conviction in our words. And warmth is the felt sense that we care, that we wish the best for others, and that we're safe to approach. The book is full of stories and small exercises that make these abstract ideas come alive. Cabane describes executives who transformed their presence simply by practicing mindfulness moments before meetings, shy students who discovered that slowing their speech made them appear calmer and more self-assured, and people who learned to project warmth not by forcing a smile, but by cultivating genuine compassion for the person in front of them. What feels especially human about her approach is that she doesn't ask us to fake it. Instead, she shows how charisma starts inside, from managing our own mental chatter, anxiety, and self-judgment. When we're tense or self-conscious, it leaks out in our body language and makes others tense too. When we're calm, open, and genuinely curious, that mood is contagious. It's a gentle kind of leadership, one that starts not with clever lines or power poses, but with self-awareness and kindness. Reading The Charisma Myth, you begin to notice your own habits, the way your mind drifts during conversations, the times you speak quickly out of nervousness, the subtle moments when you dismiss yourself before anyone else can. And rather than condemning these habits, Cabane invites us to meet them with curiosity. After all, she reminds us, most of our social anxiety is self-generated, stories we tell ourselves about how we'll be judged or rejected. When we drop those stories, even briefly, we often find a natural, unforced charisma already waiting beneath them. What also stands out is her honesty about the limits of charisma. It's not about manipulation or getting everyone to like us. Sometimes being truly charismatic means setting firm boundaries, delivering difficult truths, or being willing to disappoint someone rather than betray our values. True charisma isn't about being endlessly agreeable. It's about authenticity combined with presence and care. The book also gently breaks the myth that charisma belongs only to extroverts. Some of the most charismatic people, Cabane notes, are introverts who've learned to be deeply present in one-on-one conversations. Charisma isn't always loud. It can be quiet, calm, and deeply attentive. It's less about the volume of our voice than the quality of our attention. As you turn the last pages, what lingers isn't a checklist of tricks, but something subtler. The realization that being more charismatic begins with being more human, more grounded in our own bodies, more aware of our thoughts, and more open-hearted toward others. And in that sense, it becomes less about impressing people and more about truly connecting with them. Closing The Charisma Myth, you might feel a little more hopeful about your own quiet power to make others feel seen, heard, and valued. And in doing so, to discover a deeper sense of warmth and presence within yourself. And perhaps that's the real magic Cabane offers. Not the promise of turning into someone else, but the permission to become more fully, confidently, and compassionately yourself.